welcome to the Tours and Cruises class. A tour package must include two or more components, either air, hotel, transfers by car, rail, coach or bus, sightseeing, meals, and insurance. They can also be customized to fit the independent traveler. FIT is a phrase you may come across quite often, foreign independent travel. You find companies that specialize in this kind of tour, for example, Europe Express, and Travel Bound, specialize in European FITs. If you have a client that wants to spend 3 nights in Rome, 4 nights in Milan, 6 nights in Prague, 2 nights in Paris, these companies will specialize in something like that. They do tend to be more expensive than a regular escorted tour because they have to negotiate with each separate hotel. But they are good if your client wants a specialized, customized package. Some terms you need to know. An add-on. An add-on to a tour will be extra airline tickets, something like meals, extra sightseeing tours. That's an add-on. Cancellation insurance, very important to relate to your client. Very important if you're going on a tour and also a cruise. A dine-around plan is something that's come out in the last few years. If you went on an escorted tour, everybody ate at the same restaurant in the past. Now tour companies have come out with something called a dine-around plan. They give you a list of restaurants in a certain city and you're able to choose which restaurant you want to eat at with friends. And sometimes you can even order anything off of the menu. A throwaway. An example of a throwaway, if you go to Hawaii or Mexico, a lot of tour operators use charter airlines. In order to take advantage of the lower charter flight prices, you have to have some sort of minimum land arrangement. 2-day car rental, for example, in Honolulu. And you probably won't want to use that, but if you did, you could. But in order to take advantage of the lower charter flight price, you'd have to take the 2-day car rental. And even by taking that, it still will probably be a lower price than you could find a ticket online. So that's an example of a throwaway. Why book a tour package? Convenient for you. You only have to call one phone number. You don't have to call the separate elements. Everything's in one place. The expertise of reservationists. Hopefully the people you're speaking to know something about the product they're selling. You'll find that most tour operators will send their reservationists to the destinations that they feature so they can learn more about the destinations they're selling and pass that knowledge on to you as travel agents. Worldwide destinations. Again, if there's a country, you'll find a tour operator that goes there. You want to go bicycling in France or penguin watching in Antarctica, you'll find a tour company that actually does that. Lower cost. Again, these tour operators do negotiate their contracts from year to year with vendors, hotels, airlines, ground transportation. Therefore, they negotiate lower costs and they pass that cost on to you, and then obviously you pass that cost on to your client. Commissions paid on most components. You don't get commission on taxes, but most everything else you do get a commission. The average commission on a tour package is about 10 to 15%. Commission override. Again, if a tour company is trying to push a certain destination or area, then they'll have override commissions in order to promote that particular destination, and you can take advantage of these commission overrides. Types of tours. A fly drive is an example of an independent tour. Basically, you have a flight, pick up a car at your destination, drive around, and sometimes you'll have hotel vouchers to stay in bed and breakfast, or hotels, or castles, or in Spain or Portugal, you may stay in something called paradors or pousadas, which are government-owned properties. Again, there's a number you can call if you need help or get into trouble for any reason. There's a toll-free number you can call, but basically you're independent, you're left on your own. An example of a hosted tour, especially to Hawaii and Mexico. You have tour operators that have hosts, or these people are there to help you if you need help with booking sightseeing tours or car rentals or just general information. They're there in the hotel. It's basically a concierge that can help you. And escorted tours. An example of an escorted tour would be that the guide would come to the airport, the escort would come to the airport to meet you, take you to the hotel, the first hotel night, stay with you all the way through the tour and the tour group, give commentary during the tour on the motor coach, eat at the same restaurants as you, and then at the end of the tour would take you back to the airport as well. And finally, all-inclusive. These are becoming more and more popular, especially in Mexico and the Caribbean where most of these are based. All-inclusive, basically everything's included in the price. All your meals, all your accommodations, taxes, gratuities, alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages, sometimes sports, water sports, golf, tennis. And again, most of these are going to be based in Mexican Riviera, and also in the Yucatan and Riviera Maya on the east coast of Mexico. And again, in the Caribbean. Club Med was the innovator on all-inclusive resorts. They were the first all-inclusive resort. And again, as a travel agent, you could take advantage of some really good prices at all-inclusive resorts. They start at $39 a night, including all of your meals, taxes, etc., and your accommodation. Travel insurance is very important to relate to your clients. Again, travel insurance is a package insurance, and usually it's better to buy the travel insurance through the tour operator or the cruise line directly. They do negotiate better rates for these travel insurance companies, so it's always good to take advantage of that. Cover you for trip cancellation. If for any reason you're sick, or a traveling companion's sick, or a close relative is sick, you're covered for the cancellation charges that the tour operator or cruise line would impose. Also, you're covered for trip interruption. If for some reason you're sick and you need to be flown back to the United States, you're usually covered for that reason as well. Travel delay. If your flight is delayed and you miss the first day of your tour, for example, they'll get you to the next destination or put you up in a hotel overnight. Baggage delay or loss. Bag could become delayed or lost. The insurance will cover you to buy extra clothes and items to need till your baggage actually arrives at this destination. Emergency medical expenses. Again, very important if you're traveling overseas. Usually if you're traveling inside the United States, you're covered under your own personal health insurance, but not usually if you're traveling overseas. Again, this can be very expensive, so it's always a good idea to have emergency medical expenses included. Terrorist calls. Unfortunately, this is a sign of the times, but travel insurance will cover you for terrorist attacks as well. Bankruptcy. That's not your bankruptcy. That's the bankruptcy of the tour operator. Again, it doesn't happen very often. A recent case was Suntrips and bankrupt. A lot of times, if you've got travel insurance, then you're covered. You get all the money back that you've paid. If you don't have travel insurance, you become a creditor of the company. It's very hard to retrieve the money that you've paid. Finally, agency commissions protected. If your client cancels for any reason, then the agency commission is protected, which basically means your commission is protected, and therefore you're not working for nothing. And here's an example of some independent insurance companies. Again, some independent insurance companies: Access America, Travel Guard, Global Alert. An example of some of the independent insurance companies where you can purchase travel insurance separately. Again, these usually tend to be more expensive than purchasing the travel insurance directly with the tour company or the cruise line. And this is very important, insurance waiver form, which is located in the tour section of your manual. When a client declines insurance protects you against future claims. They can't come up to you 2 weeks before departure when they cancel their trip and say, you never told me about the travel insurance. If they sign this particular form, you're covered. So it's definitely important to get this form filled out if they decline the insurance. I'm going to show you a couple of brochures. Again, just to give you a general overview of how a brochure looks. This is the Globus Europe and Britain brochure. Globus does escorted tours all over the world. And there's Pleasant Holidays. Again, they feature tours to Mexico, Hawaii, and other destinations in the world as well. The introduction message page basically introduces the brochure, how long they've been in business, tells you the quality of their tours, etc. The table of contents tells you where the tours go and what pages they're on in the brochure. And again, in the case of the Pleasant brochure, it tells you what destinations they go to in Mexico and what pages in the brochure they're actually on. General information pages tells you how they rate their hotels, what's included in the price. On the Mexico one, it tells you basically which destinations they go to and what temperatures are and the best time of the year to go to those particular destinations. Tour inclusions. The Globus tour Taste of Britain in 8 days. That would be on the go. To see Britain in 8 days would definitely be on the go. It tells you what's included in the tour. Meals, what transfers are included, and what cities you're going to visit. And again, the Pleasant one basically tells you what's included in the price, what you're getting for basically what you're getting for your money. And the itinerary. This is an example of another Globus tour, the best of Southern England. That's probably what you want to do in 8 days, not the whole of Britain. And if you can see, the pace is more leisurely. And it tells you a detailed description of what you're going to be doing every single day on that 8-day tour. And again, the Pleasant brochure to Mexico, this is Acapulco. Basically tells you some information about the city that you'll be visiting, or the resort. It tells you where the hotels are located on a map, and just gives you general information about the hotels. Pricing. Again, a lot of brochures, tour brochures, don't have prices in anymore. They have a price from. Again, the reason being is because a lot of the prices change. Brochures are printed sometimes 18 months in advance. So you'll find that prices will change a lot, especially nearer the time when they're trying to push and sell a certain destination. The prices are drastically reduced. So a lot of times you'll find that they'll say prices from a certain price. Now, escorted tours sometimes will have a land only and an air inclusive price. There's two different prices. Obviously, if you're using your own air, then you want to take the land only price if you're using frequent flyer mileage, or you're going to be getting an airline ticket through a consolidator. If it's an international ticket, then you want to be using the land only price. They also have an air inclusive price. Sometimes you'll find that the airline tickets purchased through a tour company do tend to be more expensive though. And finally, the terms and conditions pages. The most important part about these pages is the scale of cancellation charges. Again, if you cancel 90 to 120 days out, usually you don't lose any money. Then again, if you cancel a week before departure, you lose all your money. And again, that's another good reason to take insurance out to cover you for cancellation due to health reasons. And then we have tour resource pages. When you book tours, don't forget to use our IATA or CLEAR number to ensure commission. Again, if you're booking something online, booking the tour online, there's no space to put our IATA or CLEAR number, then don't book it online. Call the toll-free number of the tour operator. When you document the reservation, don't forget to give the reservationist our IATA or CLEAR number again. We do stress that. Your full name and your home contact number. A lot of times they'll be able to put the reservation on a courtesy hold, sometimes 24, 48 hours. You'll get an email or fax confirmation. Make sure all the information is correct. Make sure the name is spelled correctly. Make sure you've got the right tour, the right date. Make sure that money to be paid by check is sent to us with enough time to ensure the check clears through the bank before payment is sent to the vendor. I always encourage the payment of a tour by credit card. If your client wants to pay by credit card, all you have to do is call the credit card number directly into the cruise line or tour company. If your client wants to pay by check, it has to be sent to our Pulaski office. Then we have to send an agency check out. Tour companies do not take money directly from you or your clients. They have to send an agency check. So again, credit card's the easiest way to go. You call the number directly into the vendor. You don't have to call us with it. It's transactions done between you and the tour company. And finally, don't forget to send in a booking form. The easiest way to do that is fill in the boxes, click submit. It sends a message to the Pulaski office so they know that when the documents come in, who to mail them to. Also, when the commission comes in, who to send it to. So it's very important you fill in a booking form and send it in online. There's a script in the tour section of your manual. If you want to fill in the blanks and read them out over the phone, you're welcome to do that. Also a tour directory with the toll-free numbers of all the major tour operators as well. We're also going to talk about rail travel. And there's some common areas of rail travel in the USA. You have Amtrak,